The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Nico and Paige on Living a Primal Lifestyle, and we're here to give you some information about your health and diet and fitness and
all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. The number here is 877-927-6648, and I have a brand new newsletter that is coming out right now, and it's issue number 11 of the year.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and so we're going to go over that a little bit. But first I got a letter from Adeline, an email actually, and it says, "Hi, Nico, for your information, I just heard Tom O'Brien say he talked with you about this issue." And the issue really is kind of interesting. We have talked about this before, the impact of fresh, healthy food on learning and behavior. And he sent me a nice YouTube talk on it. And, I've talked before about certain types of schools that let the students teach, and of course, a lot of things in the news about school lunches. And one of the things I always I chuckle about is one of the things they always mention is of course it has to be within the budget.
Exactly.
Our children are not good enough to feed them the best stuff in the world. We have to go within the budget first. The budget comes first, not our children's health. And if we really want smart people in our society, we want them to get a great education. And we know, and you've drilled this into me, Paige, many, many times, is that nutrition is what makes people be aware of what's going on and makes them, if your body's not strong, if it's not healthy, you're not going to have the energy to learn stuff, and you're not going to be able to retain it.
Focus and
Building
utilize
focus.
your brain.
There's so much involved in this. So they were really talking about getting more fresh foods into the schools. And
did you see that on the internet, where the mother got a note in her child's lunchbox?
Yes, I did see that.
And that she didn't have a balanced meal. She had like carrots and some type of fresh turkey.
She didn't
roll
have the
or
crackers,
something.
right?
She didn't have a cracker, a Ritz cracker,
Yeah.
a hydrogenated toxic fat.
It's unbelievable,
cracker.
really.
Well, it's kind of like when you go into the hospital. And I remember one time I was in the hospital. My father was in the hospital. He's a diabetic, and they had Jell-O and crackers.
And Jell-O at least has some gelatin in it.
Well, yeah, but it was just everything's so processed. What would happen if we, fed those people that were sick healing foods?
Yeah.
Had a smoothie bar and we're blending up, fresh vegetables and so forth. But the food industries aren't going to let that happen.
They
don't want to let it happen.
The government is not going to let it happen. I mean, if we wanted our prisoners in jail to rehabilitate, we'd want to feed them really good. If we're going to feed them junk to make them crazy, they're going to stay crazy when they get out. If they get out, they're going to have the same problems. And this is kind of what we're seeing. We're seeing, of course, we have more people in jail, and we have a lot of people in schools, and we have a lot of people in hospitals, and none of these people are being fed the right kind of diet. Whether it's paleo or anything, that's beside the point. It's just, let's talk about just fresh local food.
And that's the best that we can get, guys. If we can get fresh local food, we have the best chance of getting food that's grown from people who are conscious about making sure that the soil is well tended to. But as you're going to learn in the next couple of shows, we're going to talk a little bit more about what inspired us to help work and formulate a product that will be a comprehensive nutritional product that you can all use, because really it's not what you're not eating. It's not what you're eating, it's what you're not eating. And what you're not eating, no matter whether you're paleo or vegan, the vegan person, the paleo person, the food is, for the majority of the time, is missing essential minerals, essential fats, essential amino acids.
And you've talked many times of it's the soil that is the problem, because the soil is what gives all the animals and all the plants, all the minerals that we need. And if the soil is lacking, our food is going to be lacking.
And one of the reasons that I admire and respect Dr. Bob Marshall so much with his Premier Research is, as he says he says quite frankly, most all the whole food nutritional supplements, because it's really food just in a convenience of a capsule or a liquid, he sources them from other countries that have not had the soil degradation that we have created in our country. And so that's great. But what I'm saying is it's almost not enough. We need an insurance policy because it's really these essential elements, these minerals that are the building blocks of everything that all of our cells need. And I always say, you have to heal the cell to be well. And that's where we got to start. And you'll see that we're going to really be teaching you how to work on that.
Yeah, because we have a great product coming up. It's we've already named it, called the Primal Edge. It's a ancestral, comprehensive, daily formula that you can take just an ounce of this liquid once a day. I've been taking it for about 60 days, a little over 60 days, and it's so clean. You notice when you go to the bathroom, there's nothing in the toilet. So you're absorbing. It's not the yellow pee, that usually accompanies with your B vitamins.
So it's got the nature's miracle molecule that actually makes sure that the stuff that needs to get in the cell
gets in there.
It's getting in the cell.
So we're getting about 97% of the vitamins and minerals that are in this formula actually goes into the cell and it stays in your body.
But on top of that, what needs to get out of the cell is getting out. So it really helps work the sodium-potassium ion symporter pump, which regulates how the cell membrane works. And I want to teach people this because this is a lot of what I am so passionate about. I want everyone to understand the way we work. For some reason, we've all been led to believe like there's something complicated and we need to consult someone else, and whether it be your doctor, your dentist, your psychiatrist, your psychologist, your this, your that. The reality is if you just learn yourself. And so much of what we're trying to share are all part of the quantum effect. It's, all of these activities are going to help you have greater health. But it really gets down to some basic things. And you got to have the raw materials.
Yeah, we definitely do. So we got that coming. It's all approved. The formulation is done. So now we just have to finish the label up, and I think we're good to go. So maybe by the beginning of next month, we'll actually have a product ready to go. So.
Exactly. And we're working on some way to kind of have a launch special for you guys. So stay tuned.
We'll definitely do that.
We'll
talk to Tom about that. So in the Health Signals newsletter, we're going to start off here on page 1, and we're talking about alcohol and drugs, not just for modern humans. I thought this was really interesting from the Journal of Agricultural Method and Theory. Archaeology.
Springer's Journal of Archaeology, Archaeological Method and Theory. Well, basically, the article was saying that, that since eons ago, humans have been using substances to actually help reach a different plane, a different level of consciousness,
for
ease them into the transition.
Just trying to expand the mind, trying to see what else is out there, and to kind of be in touch with other realities, which is, certainly something that I think is pretty cool. We talked about this a little bit. Gluten, aspartame, and canola oil, a health disaster, really important.
Well, and again, I just want to make the comment, we're hearing all these things, but what does it come back to? It comes back to if you can't heal the cell, you can't be well. And these things are toxic to the cell. Canola oil is a plastic fat, usually hydrogenated or somehow another. The aspartame is a toxic sugar. And so we've got to start being aware of these things. That picture really is disturbing.
The one with the candy here? Yes. Yeah, so candy is really, and when you go into a candy store, it's not kind of like the old days too. When you used to have a little bottle of Coke and used to have whatever candy was in that store, you would go after, and you couldn't stop eating it until it was all gone practically. I remember that kind of stuff, but I remember what it did to me, and I was always drawn to it, whether it's chocolate or licorice and all that stuff. So,
but look at the color. It's the color of the candy is definitely enticing to young and old alike, and that's kind of showing that the carcasses from probably CAFO animals that were raised in an unhealthy environment.
Yeah, none of the stuff is healthy. This starts off with the sugar bases and things like that. So this is a nice article that involves. These are 10 mind-blowing documentaries to help you live, learn, and evolve.
$100 worth of free movies right there by clicking the links that you made it so easy.
All on YouTube. Century of the Self, very interesting. Cosmos with Carl Sagan. I know there's a new Cosmos out. I think the information these days, I think you should watch it, but if you watch the stuff on the Electric Universe, you'll find out most of this stuff is really, really out of date. And it's kind of like we're in a new century, folks, and things are different now. And we know that the sun is electric, and even though 90% of humanity still doesn't know it, they're proving it over and over again. Love Reality in a Time of Transition. Great movie. 2012, Time for Change. The Corporation.
You know, that was actually, The Corporation is actually a movie that was kind of focused on two news reporters that were from the Tampa Bay area here.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, and they were actually sued, you know, to try and get everyone to understand we need to get the growth hormone out of the milk.
Oh,
and
okay.
how they were exposing the cover-up of the growth hormone in the milk. But yeah, they were newscasters here in the 70s and 80s.
Baraka, Anima, 0 Point, very, very interesting movie. 0 Point is quite long. Home.
That's about protecting our home, and this is really awesome. The DMT, the spirit molecule,
very interesting.
And you know, DMT is tryptophan,
and this is something that your body actually makes itself too.
From the pineal gland. It's what we secrete, and they believe that we actually secrete it at the time of death, or you know, people actually are releasing this, or it's found in certain psychedelic drugs. But really amazing.
Yeah. One of the person in the chat room is asking if stevia is okay, and certainly stevia is okay. There's quite a few different brands out there.
My favorite is Stevita, you know, because I've kind of tasted them. I'm kind of a stevia
some
expert.
of them have that aftertaste that I don't like too much. But there are some good ones out there.
Stevita is very good. It's a little white bottle, has either a green or an orange top, and it's good. And the reason stevia is good is it's actually an herb, and there's some evidence, particularly when you make your own stevia tincture at home, you know, which can be done. You know, there's YouTubes to do it. Stevia has actually beneficial effects on the pancreas, on the beta cells in the pancreas. So it actually can help rebuild the pancreas. So yes, stevia is approved.
Okay, another minute left here, so we'll go through this real fast. Some interesting things using ancient wisdom in modern times. That's just really cool stuff. How to cure cavities. And we're going to go over this in the next segment, I think, because you've got some really good information about that, Paige. You know, this scientists invent a oxygen particle that if you inject it allows you to live without breathing. Thought this was pretty fascinating. Can the power of the mind be stronger than pain? We think so. And, you know, here's something about skin that turns over every 40 days. So actually everything in your body is always in transition, folks.
Because we're always renewing and rejuvenating. We've got to give ourselves the things they need to rebuild.
Many benefits of sauna, of course. And then some nice recipes. And I've got a great article here on the back. So I'll give you some things. Folks, we'll be right back. It's 877-927-6648. We'll be right back. Talk about how to cure some cavities. And
fix yourself.
Fix yourself. We'll be right back, folks.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different future contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a free 2-week trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Hecht has just announced a live 90-minute webinar that he'll be hosting Saturday, June 7th from 9:30 till 11 a.m. Eastern Time, entitled Energy Opportunities During the Summer of 2014. With the frigid winter having depleted some key energy stockpiles, Russian political tensions high, and the storm season for the Gulf setting up to reverberate through energy markets worldwide, opportunities could present themselves over the summer months that could provide huge payoffs. When you sign up, you'll gain immediate access to a 7-page report Andy has put together as an introduction to what he'll be covering, so you can start preparing and get a feel for what Andy will be discussing live during the workshop on Saturday, June 7th. Andy will be advising his attendees of at least one trading recommendation in each area, including crude oil, natural gas, coal, and refining spreads and oil products. The best part is that this live 90-minute webinar is only $99. Don't wait. Sign up today and reserve your spot while gaining instant access to Andy's 7-page report right now. For all the details, visit the front page of TFNN.com. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on Chinese stocks, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm Paige, and this is Nico to Haan, and we are living a primal lifestyle, and we want you to, too.
Definitely.
And we're kind of going over one of the great articles, as always, that Nico put in the newsletter. It's How to Cure Cavities. And
First, we have Tom from Tampa.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Tom from Tampa, are you there?
Good. How you doing, Nico? How you doing, Paige?
Good. Hey, Tom. How are you?
Doing real good. Thank you. Hey, I got my cholesterol reading back there from my doctor at 221. Am I still okay there? I mean, it really isn't that, if you're 220 or lower, isn't that still okay cholesterol?
Well, you know, there's a lot of things you want to take a look at. You want to look at not just the total number. You want to look at the ratio of the good cholesterol to the bad cholesterol and the triglycerides. And although we're not diagnosing or treating here, I do want to educate you and share with you. You might want to do your research on, you know, the thoughts about cholesterol. Really, it has never been identified to be the cause of heart disease, and in fact, normal cholesterol levels prior to the drug companies getting very savvy was up to about 270. I personally have a cholesterol higher than yours, and I do not personally, you know, feel that statin drugs are safe. That's my personal.
I wouldn't take him. He tries to put me on. I'll find another doctor. No way.
Well, but there's other things you want to look at. You know, I don't really know how old you are or how much you weigh or what your lifestyle is or what you're eating. But these are things that it's a holistic approach, and working with someone that's looking at these whole things can help you determine, you know, what you can do. And typically what we found out and what I've learned from Dr. Marshall, that typically high cholesterol is an issue of gallbladder liver stagnation. And nothing like 6 months of 2 times a week coffee enemas
Sounds like fun.
To get cholesterol into a range that might be normal for you.
Well, let me ask you something, Tom. How old are you?
52.
52. Mm-hmm. So you're still a young man. That's good. Are you active?
Yeah, very. Yeah, I'm sugar-free. I'm grain-free.
Okay.
I'm in the car a lot, all day long. I still try to walk an hour a day. I hit the gym on Sundays. I like to throw some heavy weights around the gym. I feel real,
yes.
I feel great, man.
So the high mark used to be years ago was, 240, I think.
Well, 240 to 270, and some doctors don't. They want women that are trying to give birth, women and men that are trying to give birth, to be up to 250. Mm-hmm. So the point is, we have to understand that when a drug company has a highly successful product and their market share starts to dwindle, they start to widen the range of which the product is.
Now they want to get you down to 180.
Oh, they want to put kids on it, and it's dangerous because we rebuild our cells. We make our age-defying hormones from cholesterol. We rebuild our brain. In fact, one of my mentors believes that Alzheimer's is a created disease as a result of lowered cholesterol levels. One of the things I would make sure you were getting complete metabolic profiles, looking at your homeocysteine levels. You hear about these athletes that drop dead. Well, they drop dead because they have a mineral deficiency, going back to what we said. Many times they have high homeocysteine because these minerals are required to process B vitamins, and I want to make sure you're on a live source, comprehensive, fully reduced B vitamin. That can be one of the best things you ever do for your health and your heart.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the vitamins.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about a cholesterol in that range if you're doing what you're doing. I mean, it's not like you're eating fast food and dousing yourself in this in bad oils. So
that's the key, the bad oils, and we're going to be learning a lot more about that, Tom. I know you're a regular listener because I recognize your voice. But we want to make sure that we're eliminating processed seeds and vegetable oils, or cooked oils or damaged oils. But guys, we do need some of the healthy omega-6s and the omega-3s, what we call the parent essential oils, to help the membrane function. Because when we get back to the healing the cell, it's making sure that we got the structural part of the cell, and then we've got the vibratory part of the cell. And cholesterol is an important thing. Yeah. We want to make sure that you've got healthy cholesterol, but the number doesn't tell us that. But your lifestyle does, and it sounds like you're on the right track. Yeah,
so if you want to get nitpicky, you could ask the doctor to do that smaller particle test and see where you're at there. But otherwise, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, I had LDL 148, triglycerides 77, HDL 58.
Okay, your HDL is over 50. That's good. Your LDL, from their standards, is considered to be a little bit above optimal, but your triglycerides are nice and healthy. Yep. Did you have a homeocysteine number done?
I might have. I didn't go over that with me. I didn't hear anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for your call, Tom. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. You guys are awesome, man.
We appreciate it, Tom. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, and after the
short break,
we have somebody else.
Larry.
Yeah, Larry's on the phone from Cheyenne. So, Larry, you're up next. We'll be right back, folks.
Stay tuned.
The number here is 877-927-6648. Please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. Got a lot of great stuff in there, and you'll find it, I think, very, very educational. We'll be right back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
If he'd ever look up from that screen, if he'd ever look up, he'd see me. But he's checking the news and the game and the weather, watching the time and the mail, but he never lifts his eyes from the desk, chin from the chest. He'd maybe see love if he'd ever look up.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle, and we have Larry, I believe, from Cheyenne, Wyoming, on the line. You're talking about some bladder problems here, I think.
How's it going, Larry?
Hey, how you two? Thanks for all the good info.
You're
I
welcome.
just wanted to explain how the local medical cartel responds to adversity. It's a famous case now in this town. A lady went in for a gallbladder surgery. The nurse that was supposed to tie her down to the operating table failed to, and the lady fell off the table at the beginning of the procedure, so they didn't do it, and she broke her back.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And, okay, that's bad enough, and it's like children all pointing the finger at who's responsible, and it's breaking out in the press. But wait, it gets better. She cured her gallbladder by changing her diet habits for gallbladder issue. Now she's suing the doctors for falsely misrepresenting her need for surgery.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's getting layers and layers of madness to it, and it's just, I'm using it to exemplify to people that it's like trading. They use a certain method. It's very limited, and everything they interpret using their method leads to some solution that probably isn't going to have a great outcome regardless of the mishaps during the procedure.
Hey, their kids got to go to college, and they need to take trips to the Hamptons.
Well, I'm just telling you, it's just, I mean, but it reflects a corrupt culture. A corrupt healthcare system reflects a corrupt culture to me.
Well, everybody's kind of trapped into a little system, you know.
I don't think the doctors all individually feel this way. They've been brought into this culture.
Yeah.
They go to the school, and then I think a lot of them get very depressed when they find out that they have been hoodwinked into being high-paid pharmaceutical salesmen and procedural salesmen.
Well, my neighbor is he's doing his internship in medicine, and I've watched him exactly that. Over the year since he moved into his house, he's getting depressed, withdrawn, and quiet. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of doctor friends that have kind of taken the corner and come about and decided to enter into more of a holistic practice, and they have to leave the insurance system. They can't take insurance, and people get mad because they don't, but it's because they can't possibly take insurance if they actually want to help you get well.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, listen, I'm on your side. I hope enlightenment and, you know, all the things they talk about on this station, mindfulness, kick in eventually on a grand scale, but right now it's a slugfest out there.
Yeah.
And people are being really handled. And I mean, you would think when you hear the opponents argue, it's like children in a club fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's pathetic. So that's my comment for today.
Well, thank you so much. And Larry, would you send me a link to that?
Okay, in our local paper. Yeah. I'll look for the link in our local paper. You bet.
And I want to preface this, Larry, you know, there's a time and a place, and medicine or medical professionals can be a very valuable ally on your health team. But what we're trying to tell people is, do it yourself. Understand. Get involved. I mean, if you're going to get your driveway repaved, you get some estimates. You understand what the procedure is going to happen. If you put up and build an addition, you find out what's going to happen. We need to do the same thing with our bodies. We need to really understand. And, you know, the lady that cured her gallbladder, she probably listened to Dr. Marshall, who I share, you know, like I just mentioned, you know, a couple so months of coffee enemas clears that thing right out. Yeah. And so, you know, we have to take control. We've got to become the CEO of our own health, and things will be better for all of us if we do that.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for bringing that attention to us.
Great to talk to you.
Yeah. You know, Paige, it's really something because doctors are getting less and less time with patients, and this is really part of the problem. It's not the only problem, but I know if you're only spending 10 minutes and not getting to know your clients.
They only get paid for 10 minutes.
Well, of course they do. Yeah. Yeah, because the rest of the staff takes care of that too. And I know, I work with a physical therapist, and she's one of the few people in our whole county that see people one-on-one. She's the only, when you go in to do rehab for her, she's the one that takes care of you. She's the one that handles the whole procedure from beginning to end. And if you go into some of these other places, and I've been there because I've had the thumb problem, I've had knee problems, and you go in there and you spend just a few minutes with the doctor, and then he sloughs you off to the next person that puts you in a machine or tells you what to do, and it's the end of the thing. But the doctor really doesn't get to know you. There's still doctors out there that do that, of course, and thank God for them, because you have to seek those people out. So
exactly. Yeah, I mean, the thing is you build your team. You build your healthcare team, and you go from there.
So we had that article in the health
newsletter
about how to cure cavities. I know you have a lot of information about that because your passion really was studying Weston Price.
Well, yeah, that's how it actually started when I came in. I love Dr. Weston Price. It's so funny, too, when I was really active in our local fluoride fight, and all the dentists came out in droves with their little bow ties, and they saw that they actually had an opponent. I would say, well, Dr. Weston Price, then they would say, who is that?
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know if they were doing it just to get my goat. Like, how could you not know who he was? Or if truly, just like everything else, the powers that be have kind of buried anything that would be, contradictory to what they want them to pursue.
Yeah.
But Dr. Weston Price spent many years in his illustrious career researching and traveling and studying some of the most remote regions and cultures of the world. And what he found was that the people that lived on their traditional diets that were rich in minerals
From the soil.
and healthy fats, had the highest and best health, and particularly dental health. And some of these people never even brushed their teeth.
And certainly didn't floss.
No, they didn't. And yet, if you look at the photographs that he cataloged over those many, many years, I think it was something like 40 years that he and his wife traveled the world. You know, beautiful dentition, beautiful arches, beautiful facial structure. And that was really what, inspired me to want to work with young people and say, you know, I was quite fanatic about my daughter taking cod liver oil and fat-soluble nutrition and minerals before the baby was born. And we need to get back to that. And this is exactly what he found out, that people become malnutritioned. That's when the dental problems occur. And most people in Western culture believe that they get tooth decay from sugars and not having fluoride, that somehow or another we were born with a fluoride deficiency, and that's just not the case. And actually, fluoride in particular pulls calcium and phosphorus, two minerals we need to build healthy bones, because in fact teeth are bones.
Yes, they are.
And so fluoride will actually pull these substances, calcium and phosphorus, into areas they're not supposed to be. Think cataracts, think arthritis, think aortic stenosis, calcification of the pineal gland.
And then, of course, all the brain stuff that...
Yeah, such as calcification of the brain, so the pineal gland and the arteries. So these minerals are not being properly used to strengthen bones.
And a lot of times the minerals aren't accessible.
I'm going to even go so far as to say that fluoride can actually prevent the healing of cavities because it disrupts the proper usage of the human body and what we were designed to do. And what we also know now, folks, is that we do not have a fluoride deficiency. We have a fluoride excess, as over 40%, close to 40% of our children now have dental fluorosis. And we here in Pinellas County are the laughingstock of the world because we decided to add it back in after we had taken it out. And so anyway, let's talk a little bit about healing cavities and what you can do. So we want you to use the proper diet, and it's amazingly very similar to what we've been teaching you here. We want you to eat foods that are high in phosphorus, grass-fed meats, that are properly raised in a humane way, real butter, yellow orange butter, rich butter. That tells you that the cows have been eating grass, which is going to give them the proper essential fatty acid. Cheese, actually, Parmesan cheese is high in phosphorus and can actually be good for helping to build that enamel. Oats, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds contain vitamin E. Nuts are high in magnesium, so we need the magnesium. Really, we need the fat-soluble nutrition that we find, vitamins A, D, E, and K. And, as I mentioned, the eggs. And flaxseed oil is actually very good, or flax seeds. So a lot of the things that we've talked about, we need the calcium, we need the phosphorus, we need the magnesium, and we need natural sunlight to build healthy bones, which ultimately means healthy teeth.
Yes.
We can talk a little bit farther about what we need to do, but I thought this was kind of interesting. I wanted to share with you. Many of you know we've shared with you the ancient art of oil pulling. And we've talked about using coconut oil. And from an Ayurvedic perspective, it really was more traditionally used sesame seed oil. And so long as you buy oils that are in dark bottles, because you don't want to buy any seed oils that, coconut oil is saturated. There's no seeds left on the bus. It can't get oxidized, so you're cool. But with the nut oils, stay away from vegetable oils. The nut oils, you want to make sure that you're buying them in dark bottles, keep them refrigerated, et cetera, et cetera. But I wanted to just show you a couple things that I use.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay. We've talked about using the oil, so sesame oil, coconut oil. Do it when you get in the shower, while you're washing your hair every morning or whatever. Just start swishing the oil, spit it out.
Yep.
Don't swallow it.
Yeah, and don't put it down the drain or the toilet because it'll plug it up.
Yeah, just get some Kleenex and, spit
I just
it out.
put it in the garbage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. With some Kleenex or something. But
so what you got?
I brought some cool things. This is a product that we use. It's Premier Research Labs. It's called Dentaven. And I think I shared with you the brilliance of Dr. Bob Marshall is that any of his products that end in the word ven, kind of is adrenaven, hepativen, has brilliantly figured out the exact cell resonance of every organ gland or tissue. So this isn't just, just throwing a supplement. It's the synergistic factors. So I'm going to give you one of these, let you chew it. But it's like a dental probiotic because it can kind of help. And I take one before I go to bed. So I let it just kind of work in my mouth. So that's kind of a neat product. But the other thing, I think some of you guys have heard me talk about using healthy deodorant. And I mentioned Cinegel or oxygenated.
Right. I use the crystal.
Olive oil. Yeah, that's a crystal rock salt, and that's great.
Yeah, it works really well for me.
And this is Cinegel. It's cinnamon ozonated gel. But what we can do is just to kind of demonstrate, well, this has multi-purpose, and this jar would last you a whole year, because all you need if you want to use it as a deodorant, and you could use this like every second or third day, even your shirts will smell like you just went to the dry cleaners. Smell it.
Wow.
Cinnamon and ozone.
This is for the teeth?
Well, that's what I was going to show you, yeah. So a little hygiene thing that, here, just pretend. Okay, so here we're going to have a little demonstration here.
We're going to floss our teeth, folks. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll do it on the break. But, you just take a little bit of this ozonated gel and you coat your dental floss.
Really?
See? So, all right, and we won't do it right here on the show, but when we're on break, we'll do it, and I'll see what Nico says. You're going to do it right in front of everybody? So all you're going to do is rub your dental floss through your teeth and gums, so you're getting a little oxygenation.
This stuff makes you fresh instantly.
Yeah, well, it's ozone.
Wow. Pretty cool. I'm not going to do all my teeth.
It's a good gum health thing. So, like some of my clients, I have this little dental health pack and some information. If any of you guys are interested in my little dental health pack, you can email me at Paige@TFNN.com.
Very cool, Paige.
Also, we can share some more information. But I really wanted everyone to understand that, as the article states here, it's highly unlikely that vegans and vegetarians will be able to restore cavities. They don't have the nutrition in a vegan or a vegetarian diet to reverse this process, interestingly. So I think that gives us a little more information that we truly are omnivores, right?
Yes.
And
well, more and more information tells us that. I mean, every time I read articles about getting healthy, it's the fats that really are so important. The vegetables and stuff, not as much. I was reading an article the other day about, and I'm going to put it in the newsletters, what did the pioneers who first came over here eat? And you start looking at the journals, they're talking about all the wildlife's here, not mentioning any vegetables and everything. Yeah, there's occasionally they might put something into stock.
I think we survived because we made friends with the Indians.
Well,
or I think the Indians
it wasn't so good for the Indians.
Well, early on, you know what I'm talking about, the first settlers. Then we got greedy and we wanted to head west.
Yeah, but this interesting article was stating that they didn't even go after the real big game because there was so much small game. There was deer everywhere. They weren't after the moose and the buffalo and stuff like that because it was just the wildlife was just everywhere here. It was just a total paradise. So they didn't farm a lot in the beginning. It's when they started running out.
So we ran out of the wildlife, and then we started farming, and then we screwed up the soil. Excuse me. We started taking all 60 to 90 essential nutrients out of the soil, and then we add back 3 NPK, right?
We got one more segment coming up. I think we don't have any more callers at this time.
Smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it smells really good. I mean, it's amazing. 877-927-6648, 6648, and we'll be back in a moment and pick up my Health Signals newsletter. We'll be right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Up next, the Diagnostics Trading Hour with Daryl Martin here on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. On the chat room, they're talking about doctors, and, Danny was saying from Atlanta that, what doctors are trained to do in medical school is bad. And then, of course, we have another person coming back. Not everything that you learn in medical school is bad. Of course, what we're saying really that if you're in an accident and you need surgery for an accident or to repair a limb, those types of things, man, this is the best country in the world to get the doctor.
For emergency
care.
Critical care,
Yeah.
that's where we excel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't excel anywhere else in terms of chronic disease. So critical disease, acute situations, the medical system is as good as it could
Most
be anywhere.
doctors really can't tell you what is a good diet. Because they don't know. They're still on, most of them are still on the low-fat craze, watching your cholesterol and all that type of stuff. But, the important thing is that we in America have a choice, and you can seek out doctors that kind of have information that you kind of go towards.
I would encourage you to seek out doctors that are not relying on pharmaceutical reps who sit and look pretty in their waiting room to keep them informed on the latest things. Find out a doctor that's going to seminars, that's getting trained in functional medicine, functional health.
Yeah.
And fortunately, some of those doctors are still in the insurance system. Some aren't. I think if you can have, if you have an insurance doctor, you use him for the things that he can help you with, the things that are covered. But your health is the greatest wealth you will ever have.
No doubt
So
about it.
create your own boardroom. You're the CEO and you want to know, right? And you want to know, and you want a physical personal trainer who's knowledgeable, and you want a holistic person that's looking at it from a mind, body, spirit place. You want all these people on your team. And I don't know, do you want me to share that little story of how
Yes.
this is what I understand. Contrary to what people believe, prior to, about the early 1900s, the majority of medical schools here were naturopathic, holistic naturopathic, using nature cure, doing no harm, using natural substances to treat illness and help people prevent illness and to regain health. And sometime in the 20s or so, John D. Rockefeller realized that his petrochemical industry could really explode if he used some of these things in drugs, and got the idea, well, he would do endowments with medical schools if they would agree that only identify diseases, and then a drug is the thing that's used to treat the disease. So within a short period of time, I think it's called the Flexner Report, maybe, all of the over 500 naturopathic medical schools disappeared from the face of the earth because they did not embrace this chemicalized medicine. And it was really that group of people, we had a separation. It was naturopathic physicians did more to do with wellness and maintaining the health. It was surgeons. And then the American Medical Association was created, and we then had a pharmacalized system of medicine. That's kind of my little summary of kind of what happened.
Yeah, and the AMA kind of went through the whole scenario of saying, now we're the authorities, and any time that you're going to talk about health and wellness, we're the ones that you go to, and all these other people we're going to label as quacks. Whether they do something good or not has nothing to do with it, because if you're not talking to us, you're not talking to the right people.
Right, and unfortunately, that has had a big impact on our health. As we see, it has not really, how's that working for us, guys? We're actually...
It's kind of like the lawyer thing, too. Lawyers made up a whole different language. This is the way you're going to put it in writing and make it kind of confusing, so there's kind of this lawyer speak. And what happens is that now you have to go to a lawyer to do anything legal, where if we just talk plain English, there's probably a lot of things
kind
that
of
we can do on
like
our
the
own.
disease diagnosis. Some people are like,
exactly.
well, what does it mean, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we love doctors. We love you. Hope you guys are going to have a great weekend.
Thanks for sticking around, folks.
And we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Stay well. Live primal.
Indeed.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.